Obviously, as was explained, this is specifically tapping into the idea, the archetypal collective consciousness idea, that there is a particular frequency or vibration that represents the blending or connection between your civilization and other civilizations. That is one of the frequencies that is put into the charge, in a sense, that is represented by that particular idea, object, permission slip. Now, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to always use that idea, that object, because again, permission slips are what works for you. At the same time, and in conjunction with what we were saying earlier in this transmission, as to how there is really no separation between intention and action, between the physicalization, the physical act being that demonstrates and in a sense actually creates simultaneously the intention. The physical act of having a symbol of that nature, a permission slip of that nature, is similar to the idea of physically casting your vote for contact. So the more votes are cast in whatever way that occurs, in whatever form the permission slip feels right for you, the more we can tally those votes, because not just of the intention of wanting contact, but the actual physical act of physicalizing it in some sort of physical way, a physical symbol that is representative of a physical action you have taken that is actually the casting of a vote. And that vote resonates very strongly in your collective consciousness to us. So it really truly changes the vibration of your collective reality. So that is what we wish to add about that idea. With regard to the holotope, going to be both a little bit more poetic and a little bit more literal. On the poetic side, when it comes time for the holotope experience, what you can perhaps also recognize, if you wish to, if it works within your imagination, as you look at the design, and many of you may have already thought of this, think about the idea that as you sit there with your eyes open, looking at the center, being that it was described to you as the underlying pattern of creation itself, of existence itself, poetically it could be said that you will be staring into the eye of God. And it will be staring back. You will truly see each other. And in that, in some ways on the more literal side of the concept of reflectivity, what you are also looking at when you look at the holotope is your own reflection in a mirror. So think about that as well when it comes time for that particular experience. And I will remind you, this duality blended into one idea will allow you to truly take advantage of the depth of focus, speaking in a kind of a camera term, the depth of focus that you can actually get out of this image in terms of dimensionalizing it for yourself. To see it as the eye of God, the eye of creation, and your own reflection will actually allow your consciousness to shift back and forth between those two ideas of the macro and microcosm, and truly allow you to feel that pumping communication back and forth, developing, strengthening your relationship and your communion with creation itself. So those two things we would wish to add to what has already been said. But at this time, allow us to continue with the idea of communication. You may proceed with further questions if you wish.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
Good day. I have 3 questions.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
We will see how far we get.
Okay. The first one is about permission slips, and I just wanted to clarify, if everything is really a permission slip, are cleanses and foods and vitamins and minerals and surgeries and all of that really just permission slips?
They are all permission slips. At the same time, there are permission slips that also take advantage of the collective momentum of your collective agreement, and so will work for many of you simply because you've already agreed to the rules of physical reality in general. In other words, even gravity is a permission slip. It is, however, less likely that many of you will simply start to float, simply because the theme you chose to explore doesn't necessitate that you have to cancel the permission slip of keeping your feet on the ground in order to have your experience in life. So while all those things are permission slips, many of them are also representative of the automatic or automated general agreement, so you just don't have to think about too many things. And sometimes you know that going down a certain path that is representative of a general agreed upon permission slip can sometimes simply allow you to go through life a little easier, rather than simply feeling that at every given moment you have to find that one belief that will allow you to transform or overcome that generally agreed upon belief. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
All right. And?
Well,
Oh, well put.
well, no. Well, it's the amount
Is this
of,
your second question,
No,
or is this a subset of the
it's
first question?
It's just about the first one.
Yes.
With regards to foods, I mean,
Yes.
I really believe that we don't really need the types of the foods that we really are told that we need, and the calories and this and that, and the protein and all of that. in
Body
order to
consciousness can usually tell you very easily what it is that's appropriate for you. And different people may be at different stages as to what they need to ingest to allow themselves to represent an equal relationship between the idea of food and sustenance and the idea of allowing yourself to continue through physical reality. The idea, though, fundamentally, is that if you're truly, truly acting on your excitement and you're not waiting to act on your excitement, then your energy will not have to turn into mass and you will not gain weight. The idea thus then is that if you flow your energy, you will not be waiting, and when you are in the higher energy stream, you will automatically be attracted to only eat certain things that are also of a similar vibration. But even as you go up the scale, there may still be certain things that you will eat, and it really depends more upon your relationship to that thing, and as long as you feel you have a beneficial, positive, and loving relationship with the idea that that food is doing service to you and that you are blending and combining to be a greater whole, greater than the sum of the parts, then you can still have certain substances and still be representative of the idea of increasing your vibration. You don't always have to eliminate something in that context to increase your vibration as long as you have a beneficial relationship with it. But trust your body consciousness. When you are really flowing with the energy that is truly you, you will automatically know what you feel like actually putting into your body, and there will suddenly be certain things you just won't need and won't have the urge for.
Cool.
Let it be automatic.
Yes.
But be clear on the difference between the idea of what you think you're excited to eat and what you're only eating because you're defining anxiety as excitement. You have to be clear about the idea of what energy you're actually using. You follow?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
And then?
My second question is, I heard you mention one time, a woman asked, what is memory? And you said, I believe you said memory is something that you're linking to a parallel reality.
Memory, what we said, is being created in the present. Mm-hmm. And the idea is that, yes, it is connected to the concept of parallel realities that you are cross-connecting to, that you deem to be relevant to what it is you're experiencing now. Because when you actually become a different person, a true different person in your mind, when you know you are different every moment, you actually, in a sense, are changing your history and thus can actually change your memory. You follow?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So we really shouldn't spend any time thinking about our past.
What
for the
past?
most part. Exactly. Yes. Thank
There
you.
actually is no such thing as the past. There actually is no such thing as the future. What time is it? Now.
Yes.
No matter what time it is, it will always be now. Now is the only thing you can actually experience. You can't actually experience the past now. There is no such thing. There is only the experience of now. So what you call the past is simply another now from a different perspective, a parallel now.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes. Thank you.
But you create this time-space linear continuity relationship with it that allows you to think it's something that is no longer around, when in fact it is. It's just that you've changed your relationship to it. You've changed your perspective in relation to that idea, to that arrangement, to that parallel reality, that simultaneously coexistent reality.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
All right.
Good. Thank you.
Yes.
So my last one is, you said once a habit is recognized, it's no longer a habit.
By definition.
By definition.
A habit is something you do you don't know you're doing.
Right.
Once you know you're doing it, it's not a habit. If you keep doing it, it's a choice. And you have to find out why you would keep choosing to do something you don't prefer to do. That's where you can get deeply involved in the investigation of what definitions and belief systems you have. But the first step is to be in control of that by knowing that once you're aware of something you're doing, once you're aware of a behavior, it's not a habit. You can't relegate it to a pattern or a habit because that's an unconscious act by definition. Once it's conscious, it's a choice. So the question naturally becomes, what would I have to believe is true in order to keep choosing something I don't prefer? And that leads you down the road to investigating and discovering what that belief is so that you can change it.
So that can apply to anything like illnesses, cancer.
Yes.
What else? Weaknesses, anything.
Anything.
Good. All right. Well, thank you.
Does that help you?
Yes, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.